Good afternoon. I invite you all to please get a seat. It's 12 noon. And then I don't know if there are folks downstairs to enjoying the good brunch. But if one of us or some of us can let them know that we are about to start, and so they may abandon their food and run up here. We haven't used our hymnal in a while, and we will begin our meeting by singing hymn 542. It's in the blue hymnal. For those of you who are not familiar with the hymnal, it's in the blue hymnal. May you please rise. Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, source of all wisdom and understanding, be present with those who take counsel here at Christ Episcopal Church for the renewal and mission of your church. Teach us in all things to seek first your honor and glory. Guide us to perceive what is right, and grant us both the courage to pursue it and the grace to accomplish it, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. May you please be seated. I want to welcome all of you to our annual meeting. Before the meeting can proceed, we would have to appoint a parliamentarian who would establish quorum for us. And so I invite one of you to nominate Steve as the parliamentarian. Oh, we have Rebecca's hand is up. You got to make sure that Rebecca, your hand was up. Okay. I need someone to hold the microphone and run around with the microphone. Oh. Go ahead, so move.
I move that we appoint Steve Alpern as parliamentarian for the annual meeting of Christ Episcopal Church.
Second. We need one person to second. Who is seconding the motion? Okay, Tim's hand is up. Second the motion. All in favor? Aye. All of contrary minds? All right. We need a microphone.
We need 25 voting members of the congregation to establish a quorum. Could the voting members please raise your hands? 1, 2, 25. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. And I will want one of us to move that we nominate our honorable secretary to be the secretary for this annual meeting. Our honorable secretary is Ron Couch. May one of us move that we accept Ron as the secretary for this annual meeting. Hold on a second, Steve.
I nominate Ron Couch to be our secretary.
I second the nomination.
All in favor? Aye. All of contrary minds? All right. And now, Mr. Secretary. So we have one more nomination to go. I want to invite one of you to nominate Patrick Frith and J.B. Hansen as the tellers for this annual meeting.
I nominate Patrick Frith and J.B. Hansen as tellers for the voting.
Second?
I second.
You second the motion? Well, all in favor? Aye. All of contrary minds? Well, thank you very much. So now we have a parliamentarian, Steve Alpern, who has established quorum for us. We have a secretary to the annual meeting, Ron Couch, and we have our tellers, Patrick Frith and J.B. Hansen. So thank you all very much for volunteering to serve at this annual meeting. There's a motion.
Father Manny, given that we have 4 openings for the vestry and 4 candidates, I move that we elect the 4 candidates for the vestry by unanimous consent of the voting members of Christ Church who are present here at this annual meeting.
Thank you very much. Second? Second the motion.
Give it to you.
Rob.
I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Now we go to the parliamentarian to help us understand whether what we're doing is legal or not.
Father Mercer, the motion is appropriate, and you should call the ayes and nays.
Thank you very much. Well, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All of contrary minds? Thank you very much. So now we have elected by an acclamation our new vestry members, Ron Barron. May you please rise? Greg? Will you continue to stand? We want to see all 4 of you. Diane Leger? And Sherilyn. Thank you all for offering yourselves to serve on the vestry, and we are so glad that you'll be serving for a 3-year term. Right after this meeting, we will all meet in the sacristy, so please keep that in mind. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to move on to the rector's address. We gather today as a community of faith to provide an account of our stewardship and to make some important decisions as a body. We've already made one of those decisions. We do so against the backdrop of raging violence in the Middle East. The Middle East has had its share of violence dating back to biblical times. It appears that the compromises that must be made in order to create a society where all could live and thrive together seems so far beyond our reach. Remember in our prayers those who have lost their lives and pray for strength and healing for those who are living through this trauma. Nothing so saddens and hurts than to see the faces of children who have been made victims of this conflict. How can we rebuild their lives? Will they still have hope in the human story? Will our individual faith narratives make meaning to them as they are to us? As it is, we are still struggling with providing our children with a faith narrative that moves us to believe in the God of all our being, the God who doesn't see each differently from the other, the God who calls us to see the divine imprint in the other, the God who encourages us to build each other up and be the other's keeper. How can I be your keeper? How can you be my keeper? If we can understand our duty to each other as springing forth from the question of being the other's keeper, our world and our lives would be very much different than it is right now. A few days ago, I read an article from USA Today. Americans are leaving church behind. They are giving up a lot more than faith. An important observation that the author made is that people are no longer interested in being around people with whom they disagree. People are leaving church because of the tribalism and divisiveness. But if you ask me, the main reason why we should desire to be around people with whom we disagree is that that is the one way that we can experience the richness of God. Being around people with whom we disagree humbles us, because you come to realize that all of life isn't about you, nor is it about those with whom you disagree. Being around people with whom we disagree is a sure way of appreciating our limitations as human beings. And that is why I value this particular faith community. Here at Christ Church, you get to meet everyone, even those with whom you vehemently disagree over every issue under heaven. Here you break bread with everyone, even those you don't want to see, but you choose. You choose. You have made the choice to be here, not because you see yourself any better than the other, but because you have come to realize that those disagreements do not matter in the long run. The choice that you have made to be a part of this community It's a testament to the fact that you don't see your faith narrative as being any different from the person sitting next to you or with whom you share one bread and one cup. I have come to learn that those who cannot deal with this reality silently walk away, and may God bless their hearts. But for those who are here, you and me, it is all of our task to ensure that this sacred space is one space where we experience a faith that assures each of us that we belong, that we are part of a community. And that faith cannot be a wall which separates and divides. And even if it is a wall, it is one wall that lends itself to be scaled by determined and faithful people like you and me. Our task is to free this faith and set it free so that it can thrive. As a congregation, I am thankful to God that we have done extremely well. I'm thankful that we are growing. You only have to stay till the announcement time to experience the life of this parish. Sometimes the announcements take as much time as the sermon. Can we do something about that? Yes, we can. And we should. Oftentimes, I take great delight in them because it tells of the health of this place and the work that each one of us does to make this place come to life. In a way, it also showcases the number of hands which are involved in all areas of our ministry, and it opens the door to others who may be sitting on the sidelines. It helps them to think about what they too can do to help bring light and life to this place. Part of getting people as much involved in leadership and ministry is the decision that the vestry takes. Last month, the vestry took a decision to appoint a youth liaison to the vestry. This position is a non-voting position which is meant to introduce the youth of this parish to the inner workings of the church. The youth liaison will serve a 1-year term on the vestry. This arrangement will provide for as many youth as possible to serve on the vestry. This person will be a high school student and will be appointed by the vestry based on the recommendation of the rector. For this year, the vestry has appointed Luke Arabia as the youth vestry liaison. Thankfully, he is not here. His term ends in June. A couple of days ago, Chris, our communications associate, sent me an email with a map of Christ Church's online audience within the past week. We had people from across the United States and all over the world who tune in to watch either a Sunday service, a morning prayer, or evening prayer. It is incredibly exciting to see the number of people from across the world, in fact, across the world, who are involved in our common life. It has been a very special ministry for Christ Church that through this medium we are able to touch thousands of people. I recall the modest way in which we started our online ministry, and it has grown to be what it is because of your wonderful support. For all our dedicated parishioners who lead morning prayer and evening prayer online, Please accept my sincere appreciation for this ministry. Someone once asked me, well, COVID is over, so why don't we stop online morning prayer or even in prayer? But I have always heard that we can never tell. We can never tell who it is that may benefit from a prayer or a scripture reading that we offer online. And so the question may not necessarily be, should we continue to offer this ministry, but rather, who is it that will benefit from this ministry? And I think a lot more people will benefit from this ministry than we can ever know. We have also faced some challenges when it comes to offering hybrid classes, especially on Sunday mornings. These are areas that need constant attention, and we want to assure our parishioners that we would continue to work as hard as we can to resolve all these challenges. Our goal is to be able to offer our best in all our ministries. Someone told me a few weeks ago that if you are doing something for God, it must be beautiful. And so we will work as hard as we can to ensure that we always offer what is beautiful in service to God. In a few years, Christ Church will turn 300 years. This is such a magnificent milestone, and we ought to celebrate this anniversary with the best that we have and can master. We started work on this project early this year, but I'm afraid that to say that the zest with which we started our work needs a little more boost. I'm thankful that Robin Bradley has come on as the coordinator for the 300-year anniversary. The coordinating committee of the anniversary met a few days ago, and based on our history, as best as we can glean, we have determined that our anniversary will be a year-long affair. We will begin in October of 2027 and conclude with a big celebration on All Saints Sunday, November 5th, 2028. It may appear that this is far down the road, so we can just relax ourselves. But as we can all attest, the years roll by so fast that we need to get prepared before we are overtaken by events. For all those who have accepted the invitation to serve on various 300-year anniversary committees, I want to thank you and also to remind you that our work is just getting started. And we hope that each of you would get as much excited and motivated to do this work. There is no doubt in my mind that we are blessed with such talented staff here at Christ Church. I'm so grateful to each of our staff members. To Denise, you may want to rise, Denise. Where's Mike? He was sitting at the back of the church. He's getting ready for Vantage Point. Yeah. Kiona, where's Kiona? Yeah, Kiona. Larissa is up there. Aisha could not join us this morning because her mom had a heart attack yesterday or the day before, and so she may have to travel to Detroit today and be back on Tuesday. And so please keep Aisha and her mom in your prayers. And then we have Yeti. Yeti, come on up. Come on up. Thank you very much. And we have Chris. Chris is online. I just want to thank Chris for. And we have Amanda. Amanda may be downstairs, and Nightia and Jefferson. And where is Jefferson? Jefferson may be also be cleaning somewhere. Yeah. But each of these wonderful people bring a different set of gifts to this ministry, and together, I believe we make a strong team. It's my sincere appreciation to each of you for all that you do to bring life and joy to this place. I thank you for leading in our effort to transform lives, lift spirits up, and to bring a smile to the face of others. As I said earlier on, Christ Church is growing, and I thank God for this wonderful growth. The task going forward is for us to deeply reflect on the best way to sustain and deepen this growth. I believe that Christ Church has one of the most hard-working staff, but as hard as our staff work, we are finding it difficult by the day to keep up with all the different responsibilities of serving you. The truth is that we are short-staffed. One of our goals in the coming year is to hire an associate rector. It will take a lot from each one of us to be able to keep this bold and courageous step. But it is a step that we have to make. And it is my hope that you will support Christ Church in this effort. This coming year, Deacon Denise may no longer be with us. Her ministry with us may end in August. Initially it was supposed to be 2 years, right? 3. Yep, so it was supposed to be 3 years, and she extended it for 1 more year. And so, if the bishop who appointed her to serve here, if the bishop says that she has to go, she has to go. And we will miss her, should she leave. I don't think she wants me to talk to the bishop about whether she can leave or not. And then also, Mike is supposed to leave at the end of the year. So you can imagine the gap that will be created by the leaving of Denise and Mike. And that is why we have to think really hard about hiring an associate to serve with me and to serve you. It has been 6 years since I accepted a call to serve you. It has been one great experience for me. We have done a lot together, and as I said earlier on, thanks be to God, Christ Church is a very healthy place. The dynamism within this congregation humbles me and motivates me to always offer my very best. But as imperfect as I am, some of you are perfect, but as imperfect as I am sure that there have been times when you have disagreed with my decision or been very unhappy with me over any number of things. In my book, that's what all relationships are about. We disagree and agree. We fight and we make up. We separate and then we reconcile. But whether we fight, whether we disagree, or whether we separate, I'd like to assure you that there's never been a moment when my love for you or my care for you has ever grown less. I pray for you daily. I love and care deeply about each one of you your families, and your lives. Waking up in the morning with the knowledge that there are a lot of people that I care about fills me with so much joy. I couldn't have asked for any less than the blessing of being here, serving you in both good times and the not so good times. I'd like to end with a part of Paul's letter to the Philippians that we read this morning. And this is what Paul wrote. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Keep on doing the things that you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, and the God of peace will be with you. These are the things that I think about as I serve you, and I pray for God's strength to continue to serve you with all humility and gratitude. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to invite the wardens to offer their report. So begin with the senior and junior warden and then the treasurer.
Hello. Okay.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we've already provided a written report that talks very basically about what we do as wardens, and we are very honored to basically be the head volunteers of our community. And we do help with business decisions and coordinating vestry things and so on. What we did not include in our written report are some of the problems and visions that we work on. We have regular weekly, almost weekly meetings with Father Manny, with Drew Eaton, with others as needed to problem solve and look at visions for the future. And so we didn't include some of them, like the need for an associate rector. So some of the items we have not taken action on that we continue to pray about and continue to try to figure out include, you want to talk about signs?
Oh, yes. We're working on the digital sign, neon sign at the front of the church that will be visible for members of the Columbia, living in Columbia and away from Columbia, so that the church can be seen and people can even get into the church. But it's going to be very expensive. Right now, we're looking at something in the region of $20,000. So that's what's going on now.
So it's not done yet, obviously. And that's to get electronic version of a sign that's easy to read and easy to change when we have events. Right now we're paying for individual signs. We're trying to coordinate how to afford a sabbatical. We all believe, the vestry and wardens believe, that Father Manny is overdue for the opportunity for a sabbatical. At least 3 months. We would like to see between 3 and 6 months if his family can stand it. And, give him prayerful time to read and travel and prayerfully regroup and have time to be the best priest that he can be. But that's an expensive process also that we're not able to do.
We also as vestry, troubled, like Father Manny, I know he's having sleepless nights because of the exit of Deacon Denise and Mike, the postulant. But the vestry is working hard on that and how to get an associate rector We know that's going to be very expensive, but we're still trying with the treasurer to crack the point how the money is going to come out. So we're probably going to need more from the church as the time goes on when we talk about the pledge and the stewardship.
So we do a lot of planning, working, a lot of praying, a lot of organizing people, a lot of cheering on the work that you all are doing. And we appreciate so much the love and support and prayers that you provide for us as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was sitting at my computer this morning and writing up my notes for this meeting, and I asked my computer to print the document, and it said that it was unable to print my Word document at this time, which is why I'm reduced to reading my own handwriting. But it asks a bigger question, and that is, when is a good time to print my Word document? And when I think about the role of treasurer, and I think about what I do, it's really a bunch of people, and I wanted to call those out. Your gifts are, when they're received, they're first recorded by a team of tellers. Aisha then takes that and puts it into our realm system, which allows us to record your gifts so that you can report them on your taxes. We've got a couple of people who handle all the invoices that come in and pay the bills. That's Dennis Reed and Bill Kirkpatrick. But there's more than that, and that is many of the ministries have a dedicated person who keeps track of their spending to make sure that they stay within the budget that's approved for the year. So there are a bunch of people involved in this process. And I just wanted to make sure that you and everyone is aware that there is a lot of work going on. There are people involved in these ministries and all the ministries that have reports that you see in here, and more that are not included in the bulletin. There are ministries that are not submitting reports that are also doing a lot of work. And I just wanted to call that out. My role, I get credit for a lot more work than that's done by the people I just listed, but it's simply to keep it all together, to keep making sure that our giving and our spending are aligned, that we have a budget to work for each year. As was mentioned earlier, we talk about what are we going to do next year, and how is that going to happen, and who's going to pay for it, and what decisions do we have to make to ensure that we can fund those things. Obviously, we have a long list of things we want to do, and we can't do all of them. So we do have to think hard about when is the right time to do this. And that's just what I wanted to share with you today. Thanks.
Well, every year we give a gift to our staff and the retiring vestry members. And so for our staff, Deacon Denise, you want to come by and get a little gift from? Well, Kiona, you want to come by and? Thank you very much. And Yeti, you want to come by and get a gift? Oh, come on. Larissa, you want to follow? And then we have three members of the vestry who are retiring, but two are here. So we have Diane, you want to come forward? You see the beautiful gift that she has that tells you that you have to run for vestry next year. Thank you. And then Sarah. Sarah has served on the vestry since I came here, so that was 6 years that she's been on the vestry. Well, we're going to move on to the right of the floor, where we invite your questions, and then I will answer your questions as best as I can. If I can't answer those questions, maybe the junior warden or the senior warden will help me. So this is the right of the floor, and if you have a question, you may raise your hand, and Kiona will bring the mic to you so you can ask your question.
My name is Ann Barnes. So I have a question about the statements that I hear, including today, that our parish is growing. And so I'd like to know a little more of the facts around that. How are we measuring that? What are our numbers? What comprises the numbers? And what years are we comparing against? And I should also say, at 10:30, it doesn't, to me at least, it doesn't feel like we're growing. So that's why I'd like to know a little more about how we're measuring those numbers and what we're comparing against and what goes into that count. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The two things. The first is that we measure before COVID. And prior to, when I was discerning a call to be here, I think the numbers were 240. The numbers that were quoted in the documents were 240 average Sunday attendance. And when I came, it wasn't like 240, it was around 200, 210. And then over the years, COVID dropped our numbers down, where we had a lot of people who were watching online. But since we came out of COVID, if we look at our average Sunday attendance, it's about 193, which is close to where we were before COVID. And then if we add, the numbers of those who are worshiping with us online that we know to be parishioners, not someone in Australia, or someone in Europe, but those we know that are worshiping with us online. That's how we do the measurement. And then also, if you look at within the past month, 2 months, 3 months, the number of people that we have seen join the parish, that's how we do the measurement and make some determination as to whether we are growing a growing congregation or we are sort of going down. One other part is also the number of people that we touch with our ministries. And if we look at our Christ Church, the number of things that we do and the number of people that we touch, that is also part of measuring the growth of the parish. So then if there's a parish where there is nothing going on, then there's nothing going on. But like I said, if you listen to our Sunday morning announcement, you would think that we are a 1,000-member congregation, but we're not. But we touch a lot of people, and we do a lot of stuff on a weekly basis, and that's how you measure the growth of a particular parish. And if we look at where we were before COVID, offering 2 services, and now we offer 3 services, giving opportunity for families with young kids to be here and to worship and stuff like that. That is also a sign of the energy or growth of the parish. So that's how we measure the growth. And so I would say that Christ Church is an outlier as compared to several Episcopal churches around the area. Christ Church is an outlier in terms of what we do and the number of people who worship here on any given Sunday. Yeah.
Rebecca Worrell, I have a couple of questions, Father Manny. First of all, will the vestry and you be setting up a search committee for the new associate? And what is the overall timeline for that? I'm just mindful many of the things we heard today that are really exciting, such as hiring an associate, which we haven't had for many, many years, getting an electronic sign out front so that we can have rotating messages. Jan's smiling at me because she knows I've been talking about this for ages. All of these things are of great benefit to our community, both the community here within these walls, but really our external community. But I am wondering what timelines look like, and I'm thinking, we're in the midst of praying about and discerning what our gift to Christ Church will be in stewardship season right now, and all of these things are exciting to hear about, but I'm wondering what timeline looks like, particularly for the associate, because that person will have a tremendous impact on what we're able to do.
Yep, we first have to look at the numbers. We have to. If we hire a full-time associate rector, it will cost us about $100,000 a year. And so myself and the treasurer were having a conversation about it as to, well, can we, afford that $100,000 a year? That's in addition to whatever it is that we spend every year. So our budget, when I first came, our budget was, I think, $400 or something $1,000. And over the 6 years that I've been here, our budget has grown to, I think, 600 and something thousand. So there's been $200,000 increase in our annual expense, in spite of COVID. And so if we are thinking about having an associate, a full-time associate, we are thinking about a budget of about $800,000. And that would mean that our giving has to significantly go up, because this person is not going to come for 1 year and then go away. We're going to have to keep this person up until such a time that this person decides to, seek a different call. And then we're going to have to go back to the search. We're going to have to go back and get another associate. But if we look at the numbers, and depending on what the numbers look like, and we can afford a full-time or rector or a part-time rector, we would establish a search committee which would, go through the process of searching for a new rector for us, a new associate rector for us. Yeah.
Thank you. So that just leads me to think more broadly about our budget, and I didn't see that we actually had our financial report in the annual meeting report here, but I know every week it's linked way down at the bottom of the email that we get, and so I was looking at it, and I just would ask, perhaps prayerfully, that as the vestry considers all of our financial decisions, that we think about how every penny we spend impacts our ability to spread the good news and be the good news in the world around us. And so that we're keeping that in mind in making these decisions really prayerfully, because we are a church that is in a really healthy place. I say this just having interned at 2 other really vibrant churches that are in very different financial statuses than we are. But I think, we could look at things we're spending money on and make decisions. Are we spending it on this, or are we spending it to invest in an associate rector? Are we spending it on an associate rector, or are we spending it on something else? So I think as we all discern our gifts, it also would be good for us to discern how we're spending those gifts.
The tricky part is that you can't choose between paying your light bill and hiring a rector or an associate rector. If you look at the numbers, it's okay, well, we have to pay our light bill. We have to pay our light bill. And there's no ifs or buts about it, because when you come here on Sunday morning or Monday or whichever day you come, you expect to see lights on, right? And if you come and there are no lights on, say, what happened? There are lights all over the place, but how come we don't have lights here? But we have to weigh that against, hiring an associate rector. So if Father Manny can work 60 hours a week, that's fine, But, so But the point I want to make is that we are very judicious about our spending, and there are things that we can't help that we have to pay for, and there are things that those that we can help that we don't have to pay for, that we don't have to do. We'll try as much as possible not to do them. Yeah.
This is a rather specific question, but it feeds into what we're talking about. We have had the joy of looking after an Afghan family, which is usually only for a year, and I think we're now closely approaching 2 years. I just wondered how much longer we are planning to look after them, which, I mean, it's a joy that we've been able to do it, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I'm just curious as to how much longer we're going to make this commitment to them.
Oh, yeah, Anne can answer that question. Yeah.
Ann Barnes again, a member of the leadership team of the Afghan Refugee Ministry Committee. So we have been over the course, so the family will have been under our care for 2 years at the very end of December. The family has, starting 6 months in, so almost a year and a half ago, started paying for a number of their bills, so the operation of their household, their utilities, their internet, their Wi-Fi, their clothes. They pay for all of their food. Beginning this year, they started paying an increasing portion of their rent. The townhouse that we rent for them is a very modest townhouse over in Dorsey Hall. So the remaining expenses that are ongoing with the family are the church's portion of their rent, which we have a schedule through the end of next year, of 2025, where the family is paying an increasing portion. It will start to be at 3-month intervals next year. So by the end of 2024, they will pay for everything. They no longer have food stamps. Most of their health care is through Medicaid. 3 of them still qualify for Medicaid for their health insurance. And we pay some of their tuition costs at the community college. So it's a declining amount. By the end of next year, we will have no further financial ongoing commitment.
I just want to add that the support to this family is not just from Christ Church, it's across 4 congregations. We partner with St. John's in Ellicott City, with Columbia Jewish Congregation, and with Patapsco Friends, the Quakers. And we also received 2 significant grants. St. John's gave us 1 grant, and the diocese gave us another grant. So it's a multi-source effort there. But yes, we have a very solid, scaled plan that the family is meeting their obligations, and they will be completely independent, as Ann said, by the end of next year. Okay.
Thank you very much. As both Anne and Denise have said, we put them on a plan. We can't say that, oh, okay, well, hey, by the way, we've stopped paying your rent, so begin paying your rent. No, we put them on a plan. And over the past year, we've been working with them, trying to help them understand all the financials and their contributions. So we're gonna have to do it incrementally up until the end of the year, up until the end of the 2024, and in 2025, they will be on their own. And when they're on their own, then we have to think about whether we as a community are ready to take on another family and support them. So, but for now, it runs up until 2024, December of 2024, and then we will be done with that family. But we have to be measured in how we expose them to the American way of life. Some of us who lived elsewhere before we came to America. I was telling a friend of mine the other day that when I was in school, I got an invitation in my box, and when I picked the invitation, it was, "Oh, you are invited to a dinner at Macaroni Grill." And so I went home. I told my roommates that, "Hey, well, I have an invitation to Macaroni Grill, so let's go and eat." Well, we got into a car. We went. We sat down and ate, and then right after, the evening was about ending, we saw that they were issuing bills. I said, well, we didn't know that we had to pay to eat. So I was like, man, in Africa, when someone invites you, you go and eat for free. So that's we thought we're coming to eat for free. Well, they paid for us. They paid for us. But the point I'm trying to make is that, we have to be measured in the way we introduce these people to the American way of life, just so they would appreciate it more than simply dropping the ball on them or dropping them and they say, hey, well, you are on your own. Because they are in our care. When we signed the lease is in our name, and so we bear some responsibility in making sure that the rent is paid and stuff like that. Good. Any more questions? Oh, Ellen has a question.
I have two questions, actually. The first is, we need some kind of a congregational directory. I mean, we have grown, our congregation has changed, and our directory is in a never, never land. So, maybe we recognize a person by their face, but I really don't know their names. And so if we could have people take their selfies on their cell phone and send it in with their telephone number and their address or their email address, some way to contact them, it would be a big help for me, at least, to get to know so many people.
Well, before you go to the second question, if you look at page 23, you see a beautiful picture of myself on page 23. And then if you look on page 28, there's a beautiful picture of Denise, and then page 30, you have a beautiful picture of Larissa. It was Larissa's husband who actually took all these pictures. And I told him that we're going to try and engage him in a conversation so he can take pictures of parishioners so we can develop a directory. But I haven't had that conversation yet, and so we would have that conversation and we'll set up dates and times. If he agrees to it, we'll set up dates and times that parishioners can come and take pictures. But we would have to pay for it. The church will pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. So when one of those commercial guys will come and then you take a picture and it's beautiful and they coerce you into buying those pictures, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you come, we take a beautiful picture, and you go and the church pays for the pictures and we develop our own directory. So when we are able to set some dates and times, come to an agreement with him, we will let you all know so we can work on that. So the second question.
So the second question is, it's my understanding that there's no more space in our graveyard. So my question is, maybe we should set up some kind of a fund for a columbarium here at Christ Church as another future expense for us.
Thank you. I think, when was it? A few years ago, before COVID, I had a conversation with Alex Everett. Alex Everett, he was sitting at the back of the church with his wife and two kids. And Alex was a member of a parish in St. Mary's County, and their church built a columbarium, and his father was deeply involved in it. So I had a conversation with him about that, and I think that John Hadley was part of the conversation. So I've had an initial conversation, and then we would, I would, engage him again and see how best we can, move forward with our conversation and see if we can build a columbarium around here to cater for our parishioners. Yep. Thank you very much. Sarah has a question.
More of a comment.
Comment.
So,
Okay.
sort of in response to Ellen's question about a directory, may I remind you, we have a directory online in Realm, the same way that you can pay your pledge or make any donation. You can also put your personal contact information in there. It's password protected, it's for the church only, So no outsiders should be able to get into it. Obviously, anything on the internet is vulnerable, but this is a very secure system. So you can actually enter and have the information that you want out there.
Thank you.
Right.
Well, you can take a picture and upload it.
There's mine. I have uploaded a picture. You can't search. Okay, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Sorry.
Yeah. Good. So we will work on that, and oh, okay.
I just wanted to say, we've got 2 boxes right now filled with handmade shawls, prayer shawls, gifts from members of our community. So if someone's grieving, if someone's suffering, if someone's caring for someone, these are a very prayerful way to share the love of our community. So, and the On Realm, it's onrealm.org, or onrealm, yes, onrealm.org. So it's an app. It's very easy to use. So
Yeah.
sign up.
If you want, if you are not, you don't have it, just send an email to the church office, and we will send you a secured link where you can, input your information in it. You have to get a link before you can sign up. So you can't sign up, go on REM and sign up yourself. We have to send you a link before you can sign up. Good. Any more questions? Wow. Well, there being no more questions, we already have our vestry members, so we are good. I'm checking off stuff on my list, right? And then one announcement that I want to share with you is that there is no Theology on Tap this coming Tuesday, so please keep that in mind. And then on the, I think, 5th of November is our Pledge Sunday. The 5th of November is our Pledge Sunday. So please remember to bring your pledges on the 5th of November. You can also go online and pledge. Yeah, those are the 2 announcements that I have. Any other announcements for the good of the group? Okay. Well, there be no more announcements or comments or questions, I invite one of us to move that we adjourn our annual meeting. Second, all in favor? Aye. All of contrary minds? I thought Ray was raising his hand because he wanted to stay a little longer around here. All right. I invite all of you to please rise as we offer our prayer. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, ruler of all things in heaven and earth, hear our prayers for this parish family. Strengthen the faithful, arouse the careless, and restore the penitent. Grant us all things necessary for our common life, and bring us all to be of one heart and mind within your holy church, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And our closing hymn is hymn 490. Hymn 490.